Gine ambapo serikali kupitia Wizara ya Michezo na Masuala ya Vijana inatarajiwa kuelezea kuhusu maandalizi ya uchaguzi wa Baraza la Kitaifa la Vijana NYC. Katibu wa Idara ya Masuala ya Vijana Fikirini Kitoi Kahindi anatarajiwa kutangaza tarehe rasmi ambayo uchaguzi huo utafanyika, pamoja na kuzungumzia mikakati ambayo imewekwa ili kuhakikisha uchaguzi huru na uchaguzi ambao ulio wazi. Jukumu kuu la Baraza la Kitaifa la Vijana ni kuwawezesha vijana kushiriki kikamilifu katika maendeleo ya taifa na kuwapa vijana jukwaa rasmi ya kuweza kuwasilisha maoni yao kwa serikali kuhusu masuala yanayowahusu moja kwa moja.
Find it in your heart to forgive us. So we've called you here today amidst many issues surrounding the National Youth Council's elections. I think as members of the media and press, you know, basically there has been a lot of statements and counter-statements over the issue of the National Youth Council's election. And basically our meeting here addresses some of the concerns which members of public and the youth in particular have been raising. So that is the reason why we have called you here. You will permit me some latitude to read through a written statement, then we'll appreciate some few questions depending on time, because I have a parliamentary appearance at 10. It was 10, I'm told it's been moved to 10:30, so I have some very little time to engage with you. But all the same, I hope it will suffice. So, statement on the upcoming National Youth Council NYC elections. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, partners, stakeholders, and fellow youth, thank you for joining us today as we announce and elaborate on the upcoming National Youth Council NYC elections, an exercise that reaffirms our nation's and the Kenya Kwanza government's commitment to youth empowerment and democratic inclusion. The National Youth Council is established under the National Youth Act, Chapter 132 of the Laws of Kenya, the NYC Act. Section 5 of the Act provides for the establishment of the Council as the apex governing organ of the NYC. The Council comprises 8 elected youth and not more than 8 youth nominated by the Cabinet Secretary. The first NYC elections were held in 2012. These elections involved a rigorous process from the grassroots to the national level, culminating in the appointment of 16 youth in accordance with the NYC Act. The Council's initial term ended in 2016, and the then Cabinet Secretary opted to renew the terms of eligible members for an additional 3-year period. By operation of law, the first Council's tenure lapsed in 2019. To facilitate the conduct of fresh elections, the National Youth Council elections of certain council members regulations were enacted in the year 2021, pursuant to the Statutory Instruments Act. These regulations provided a legal foundation for conducting NYC elections in 2022. However, due to the fact the year fell within the general election cycle, the NYC elections were postponed. In 2023, the reorganization of government affected the planning of NYC elections. Subsequently, a proposed NYC amendment bill introduced by Honorable Joshua Kandie, MP, sought to transition from elections to competitive selection through the county youth directors. The bill was not adopted, having been deemed inconsistent with Article 55B of the Constitution of Kenya. In November 2024, pursuant to Section 4 of the 20 regulations, the Cabinet Secretary appointed a National Steering Committee to coordinate the NYC elections at all levels. Thereafter, the Ministry initiated extensive stakeholder engagement and resource mobilization to support election logistics. On Tuesday, 21st July 2025, the Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Salim Mvurya, Cabinet Secretary in charge of the State Department, the Ministry for Youth, Creative Economy and Sports, the Honorable Salim Mvurya announced the decision of the Cabinet, which approved a memorandum requesting the authority to hold NYC elections. They are allocating resources to conduct the exercise. This then has made it possible to proceed with preparations to hold the elections in a structured, inclusive, and consultative process. In fact, my office, as at yesterday, is in receipt of a letter from the Cabinet Secretary giving this communication and equally giving the State Department the go-ahead to conduct the elections. So, like I said, it gives us now the avenue to do the preparations to hold the elections in a structured, inclusive, and consulted process. The election structure. The National Youth Council NYC elections are designed to ensure that youth across all parts of Kenya can participate in choosing their leaders fairly and transparently. The process is structured in 4 clear stages. And this is the act. It is not my wisdom or unsolicited wisdom to that, for that matter. Number 1, nominations. To become a candidate, a youth must be nominated by
Na mtazamaji, ni taarifa ambayo tunazidi kufuatilia. Kumbuka ni kuhusiana na uchaguzi wa NYC, National Youth Council, ambao unatarajiwa hivi karibuni.